What's going on, everyone? Just letting people just get in the room. I'm gonna cover a news story, but I'm gonna do it more so live. And let me know if you could hear me because I'm outside of my studio, obviously. So I want to know if everything sounds okay to you guys. Let me know. Press one if you hear me. No, I'm not tired. I'm not tired. I'm just doing things. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys hear me okay? I just want to make sure you hear me. You can hear? Okay. Because I brought my little travel setup with me, and that was the purpose of me having it, just in case I said if I ever start doing something that I need to move around, loud and clear. Perfect. Now, it's a few things that I do need to purchase. Okay, thank you. To start doing more traveling, and but I'm gonna take care of it. You say how I like it so far? Well, I could talk about New York here. Oh boy, if you're on my Patreon page, check the lens feature that we have. Was kind of like Patreon got a new feature like Snapchat, where you can upload videos and it disappears in 24 hours. Well, check out the video I just posted up there. I caught it in real time. I'm gonna tell you this much: people in New York, man, y'all ain't nothing like us down in Houston. Y'all not, man. Y'all, man, everybody around here like they got something going on. They got to get somewhere. You know, people be getting pissed off. I mean, it's interesting. It's very interesting to see things I'm seeing out here. Um, I got today with brother Sinetta, and shout out to Sinetta. He was very cool. I'm gonna get with the family in Harlem in a few days or so. So I'm definitely gonna get with my people down there. Because, I got people back home like, man, you over there, man, you got to go to Harlem and get me this and get me that. So I couldn't even leave here without going down there. So yeah, it's busy. But what I will say about New York, at least the area I'm in right now, if the majority of our community would move like they move over here, we wouldn't have a problem in our community at all. You wouldn't have it. Man, I seen brothers out here every corner hustling. And they not begging, they not doing nothing. They out here trying to get it. And I love that hustler's mentality. Um, because that's the only way to be. In this economy, and what's happening with this economy more so when people realize is that we're moving more to an entrepreneur based economy. And you're not gonna make it if you're not a hustler. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna eat. If you haven't figured out what your gifts are, whatever that may be, you're gonna be left behind because it's not gonna be a lot of jobs left for you to get. And see what's going on in this society, and the detrimental thing of white privilege is that they've been used to things going their way for so long, where every day is leaving them, right? So you have them complaining to Trump like, man, give me a job, man. I want a job. But they didn't have to hustle. Like us, we having to hustle. I see Africans out here hustling, just African Americans. I see Latinos out here hustling. And then, man, I've never seen so many white folks in my life that spoke different languages out here. Man, you seeing Germans out here, Russians out here. I mean, it's all these white folks. It's weird for me to hear white folks speaking a different language. It just, for me, because I'm always used to, either Hispanic speaking their languages, or maybe a few Africans come through, but you don't see that too much. So every other time I'm looking up, I'm seeing white folks from different countries speaking different language. Also, something that was very interesting about these people that was from New Zealand, they have a thing. You know how we go on vacation, everything called holiday. I didn't even know everything called a holiday. Well, this holiday is like 6 weeks. So like every year they get about 6 weeks off to have a holiday. Okay. And when they have this holiday, let's see what he got going on. I'll get with him here in a second. And when you have this holiday, you travel all these different spots. Now, I thought that holiday situation was cool. Yeah, it is the melting pot. It really is. And But I respect the hustler's mentality out here. So I think we got enough people out in the room. Before I left, I was saying that I wanted to cover this one news story. And you have this woman, and this woman's name is Vicki Momberg. Now, this is coming out of South Africa. And let me tell you something. They are looking at South Africa as a type and shadow of what the world could become if they become the minority. Okay? Yes, I'm country, and that's fine. So they're really paying attention to South African politics a lot more than what you think. And if you Google this story, you're going to see it on CNN. You're going to see it everywhere. These folks, first of all, now if you was talking about land compensation, I'm sorry, land, taking the land and not compensating for them. They have a little term they call it, right? That concerns them. Now, this story I'm about to show you concerns them. So this woman had an issue with some crime, and she called the police. And when the police got there, she don't like black police. She don't like black people at all. And I want to play you the video. This happened 2 years ago. She's going to go on a rant. Now, she's going to call the police the word kafir, okay? Because they're going to block out it says K and say, what does that mean? Well, K is basically another, kafir is like calling a black person in America the N-word. Same thing, okay? So, let me show you this video, and then after that, I'm going to show you the news report. Pay attention to the reactions of the brothers and sisters, because it's going to be funny to me. But anyway, let's play this report.
Oh, it doesn't matter one or one is bad enough. This happens all the time. All the time. The judges are terrible. I'm so sick of it. I'm really sick. Yeah.
I'm looking here. Let me deal with it. I'm looking here. Okay. Listen to me now. Okay. I hear what you said. Just let it calm down. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. I understand how you feel. I'm not going to allow it to talk to us.
And every single person that answers the phone is a black person, and they are
Just walk away from it. I'll deal with it. Can I have a word with you, please? Can we walk that side?
I don't want to do my video.
You don't stand right.
Extravaganza. If you people were trying to assist me, you would answer one of the 50 calls that I made. Instead, I get through to these people that just like, I don't know, I can't stand it. I am so sick of it.
First of all, it's I'm not going to allow you to insult my friends.
Listen, yeah, I'm not going to change my mind. I hate If you people were going to insist, you would have done it a half an hour ago. Because there's not, I can tell you now, the caliber of blacks in this town vary from the caliber of blacks in Germany.
Okay, ma'am.
They're opinionated, they're arrogant, and they're just plain and simple. I'm happy for a white person to assist me, or a colored person, or an Indian person. I do not want a black person to assist me.
you need to do. You could have come to us, let us make this. We watch the reports in the media. Let's have an assistant. I'm trying to assist you.
Let me tell you something. This is the type of police force we've got. You've got low caliber people working.
You're calling me a low caliber police officer.
I do think that this is very, very low. Can I tell you something? If I was in your shoes, I would treat someone like myself much better than what you treated.
I'm asking you, did you insult me at any time? I've offered you the whole time assistance.
What assistance? What the have you offered me?
Ma'am?
Are you going to follow me?
You want me to?
I think so, because I'm really nervous about...
Okay.
If I see a I will drop him. If I have a gun, I
Ma'am,
will shoot him.
listen to me now one more time. I'm not going to say it again.
Go away, I don't need your help.
In front of witnesses, this is what she said to me. She doesn't need our help. I've been standing here for quite some time now.
If you want me to help me, you would help me half an hour
Sir,
ago.
I'm not going to argue with her. I'm not going to entertain this. When we stopped here, she insulted my colleague. She called this constable a black. Okay?
No,
She called
I
this
didn't.
person.
I said I don't want to deal with any
Ma'am,
and I'm not prepared to deal with any I've just been smashed and grabbed with a car.
you better tell her. If she doesn't want to get arrested, she must calm down.
Go away.
I've offered my service. I've offered to assist her numerous occasions. She doesn't calm down. She doesn't want to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about that for a minute. Before I play the news story, she said a few things that we see all over America and throughout the world about white supremacist terrorism, right? She says she hates black people. She kept calling them the equivalent to the N-word constantly. She just used the low IQ argument, but she said low caliber, but that's the same thing they use. I mean, no matter where they go, they are the same everywhere. And this is why we need to pay attention to global, not only in politics, but the global African diaspora so we can understand what we're dealing with here. Now, she mentioned the word that she didn't like black people, but she was okay with the colored and Indian. Now, colored in South Africa, they call a person like Alicia Keys colored, Halle Berry colored. You know, those who are so-called biracial. Thank you, Black Rage 843. So-called biracials. Those are the ones they call colored. Now, over there, they call them colored like they're a different class of people. Okay. And this is what white supremacists actually use over time to create a different buffer group with these so-called biracials. Okay. They did that heavy in a lot of South American countries. Give me a second here. Now, she said she wanted a colored or an Indian person to engage her. That's just, remember that she said that, right? All right. Now, let's get to the actual story I want to show you. This dummy, just watch it and listen to what happened to her. It's like the best thing ever.
Vicki Momberg's last few minutes of freedom, now paying the price for her racist rant.
No, it doesn't matter. I know what
This shocking video landed her in hot water.
it happens all the time. The terrible. I'm so sick of it.
She used the K word 48 times. First, while talking to a 10111 call center agent, and then to a policeman assisting her after a smash and grab. The court rejected Momberg's claim that she was emotionally stressed at the time.
The court looks at the circumstances and the actions of Ms. Momberg as intentional and racial. Her words violated and impaired the dignity of the complainants.
I do not like a single black in Joburg.
Last year, the Equality Court found Momberg guilty of hate speech. She was ordered to pay 100,000 rand to one of the victims. The court believes it's not enough.
This sentence, however, must serve as a deterrent for others who behave in a morally reprehensible manner, sending out a clear message to all In particular, people who use the K word. It must be a lesson for all of us.
A harsh sentence meted out.
The accused is sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, of which 1 year imprisonment is suspended for a period of 3 years.
It's not the first time racial slurs have been in the legal spotlight. In 2016, another former estate agent, Penny Sparrows, was fined 150,000 rand and sentenced to community service. She likened black people to monkeys in a Facebook post. Momberg's imprisonment is a first.
This time, a loud message is sent to every race, every person in the country. This cannot go on any longer.
A ruling broadly welcomed on the streets and social media.
The sentence of 3 years, it's too little. They should go for 6.
It is the beginning of a long journey of South Africa fighting racism.
For start, 3 years, actually it's not bad. Any relations are able 10 years, the wiki on Ankate.
Momberg's hopes to be released on bail were dashed. It's a landmark ruling in a case involving the use of the K word, and one the state hopes will serve as a deterrent. Momberg is set to appeal both the conviction and sentence next week, but for now, she remains behind bars. Manqaba Mchunu, SABC News, Randburg.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta back this part up one more time. I gotta get to my sister. Hold on. There she go. Hold on.
The sentence of 3 years, it's too little. They should go for 6.
It is the
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It should have gave her 100 years. Now, that's funny. That is so funny. That what she get. I am so happy they are finally. That's to say, should have went higher. Because that's how we see Africa. You have to understand, it's the youngest population in the world. Okay, revolution is always with the youth. That's why I'm glad the bulk of my audience is the 18 to 18 to 35 range. I'm glad of that, because that's where the core of the revolutionary people are going to be at in any society, right? So she got locked up. That sister is happy about it. Her braids look real good too. I'll give her that. The braids were straight. But white privilege is gone in South Africa, and every day it is eroding. And they seeing it right here in America. Sure, they're not going to get no time for that, but who's to say in the next 20 or 30 years that may change? Let me tell you, I told you, if a white supremacist, listen to the words I'm using, if a white supremacist, to these slow people who are racist, of course, not those white people that know better, the white supremacists, if they don't have racism, they have nothing. So to take this woman's racism away from her, and it cost her some jail time, and then you remember she said that she wanted a colored or an Indian person, and then like they say, look at God. God is good. He gave her a Indian female judge. Look at the irony here. Like they say, God has a sense of humor. They said that, and I think that was just funny. An Indian woman who you wanted sent you to jail for 3 years for your mouth. You say you hate them. You threaten to shoot people and all this other stuff. What is wrong with going to European countries? What's wrong with that? I don't see an issue with that. If you hate black people that much, go back. I don't get it. They say this is the first time this happened, and it needs to happen all the time. You write it. Oh shoot, huh? If they do that in America, the prison population be so overran. It'll be so overran. Please. The first one to be in jail is the president. So there you go. Nah, I'm not drinking tears. I'm drinking Fiji, but it's funny. I just think it's funny. Look, all y'all that make videos, y'all need to talk about this one and laugh and enjoy this story. Enjoy it. You don't get too many times that you can laugh at what happened. See, the thing is, they came to South Africa and they killed people. They raped and pillaged people for a long time. And now the tables are turning and they ain't liking it. And like I say, like that young sister said, she wasn't, oh, we should have forgive her. Did she say that? That's a lesson a lot of you. She didn't say I need to forgive her. And the brothers were saying he like, should got more time. I say my brothers and sisters. That's what I'm talking about. But you got some black people here. They kill your kid, and I forgive. Like they even ask you. Please learn from your South African brothers and sisters. They trying to show you the way. And believe it or not, we were the ones who were the leader of the fight for civil rights, human rights, and now we worse off than what we were before that time period. Well, you know, the Chinese, I know they in there, but they're actually building up infrastructure. So they coming in a different way. The Caucasian, he didn't build the infrastructure for those people. I'm not saying that the Chinese don't want the resources either, but you know, the Chinese didn't enslave Africans. They don't have a history of enslaving Africans. And let me tell you something. It is a good thing. I know China has some racism there too. Yes, it do. But it's not a bad thing for Africa to join with China. If you know anything about biblical history, you in biblical prophecy, you would know about the king of the East and how the king of the East will rise, okay? And if he's trying to be a friend of Africa and he's actually doing infrastructure in Africa and he's building roads and bridges there that was never there before, he's not just trying to put military bases in African nations. He's actually trying to turn those dirt roads into highways, okay? And building up the place. Even though he wants the resources, but really that's a barter system. If I was a president, governor, mayor of a city in an African nation, and China say, look, we like to get some resources from you, but in return, we're going to build you a super highway. And I know the roads on highways, I know it's dirt roads and people, you know, running off of the road because of mud and all these other things. I'm like, man, yeah, that's an easy trade-off. That's a common sense trade-off to get some infrastructure. The Caucasian have never brought infrastructure to those people. So what's so bad about the Chinese? Even though I don't agree with a lot of them have some racism, but what's bad about them? You gonna deal with the one that enslaved you forever and don't build up the infrastructure? They coming in with their vaccines and killing you off with so-called vaccines. They lie to you and say AIDS come from a monkey. But if you talk to African people enough, they'll tell you, okay, get close to a monkey and see if you could have sex with it. And people actually believe that crap, that it come from having sex with a monkey. That monkey will kill you. Especially doggone silverback gorilla. Don't go next to him. But this was before the time of information. And even those who know about Bible scriptures know that in the last days, information and knowledge will increase more than it ever been before. And I believe we living in that age of knowledge being increased, because the issue that a lot of them are having right now is that they're not in control of everything anymore. So it used to be to lie to us and then it would work because we had no way to counter that lie, right? Now the elites don't know what to do. Shoot, they mad that other white folks finding out the truth. Think about it. For a long time, the whole world believed Jesus was white. And then now they can't even say that no more because the truth has come out. And every day as you find out more and more even about yourself, when they come out and tell you they're superior to you, you're inferior. And then you say, well, how is it they superior? And you think about it, you say, well, in order to be superior, you must be a superior in every which way, right? You say, now, if they go out in the sun without a chemical that causes cancer, they burn. But I go in the sun and I soak it up. So how are they superior there? I'm just saying, you know, I mean, you can go a lot of ways with that. That's just one. But we'll believe that they're superior. Well, the whole world, okay, is seeing the truth. The whole world. And they're seeing that they lied. They lied to say they are for human rights, and they're not. Recently, China has actually now taken the lead for the fight for human rights. And everybody else agreed with China, because you know why they say they don't want to agree with us? You think they don't watch the 20 shots that happened to Stephen Clark? You think people in other countries don't have internet? You think people in other countries don't watch YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? You think they don't watch that? See, even Donald Trump understood, crazy as he is, understood that in order to get to the people, you go through social media. You don't go through traditional media, because they use it as a propaganda tool, okay? And a propaganda tool is used for a few things: to indoctrinate people and to make war as well, to confuse people, to divide people. So many people in this society is so deep into the lie that if you bring the truth, you're dividing people, okay? I was passing by the Viacom building last night, and I looked up, I think the New York Times as well. Oh, you should see these places. New York Times, Viacom. You know, Viacom controls your BET, controls your VH1, you know, all your stuff. Y'all talking about ratchetness. Well, they control it. Caucasians control it. You know, I don't care what black faces they put up there. They just cutting checks. Now, I'm looking at all this stuff going on over here in New York. All in these propaganda places, huge. I mean, it's majestic. I mean, it's something to see. And these people working hard every day to have their agendas. And this is why when people say he has an agenda, yes, I have an agenda. If you don't have an agenda while you're doing this, then that's silly. And then what's wrong with having an agenda? What's wrong with it? It's called a core message. And my core message is for us to do the things that we need to. I kind of went through my core message. I don't need to go through all that. But I want us free. And the only way we can get free is liberation of the mind. Because he who controls the mind controls everything else. That's why they want to control media completely. They know this. This is why they spend millions of dollars a day in media, because if you control this, you control everything. Let's think about it. If I got your mind, then I got your choices. I got your money. I got where you live. I got how you raise your kids. I got it all. That's why they want to control the school system, because they're controlling the mind. You got to think about that. If everyone start creating private schools, charter schools, homeschool, not only will they lose tax dollars, but they can't control the mind. They work on you ever since you are a little bitty child in elementary school to indoctrinate you, mind, okay, to control you. They feed you images constantly on television, movies, any form of media where it's going to be fed into your eye and into your ear gate, right? In order for you to get things, it has to come either through your eye gate or ear gate or both. Goes here to the mind. So that's why they want to control you. The reason why all these mainstream media organizations is upset is because they want to control the mind. But understand something. What you saw in this video, that's going to shake the core of white supremacists. Trust me. This woman's going to represent every last one of them. And some of them are making videos right now on YouTube. And the thing is, your privilege is coming to an end. God, the Lord, Most High, Allah, whatever you want to call him, pick one, is enough. You didn't repent of your sins. You didn't do what's right. And the thing is, some of them say, why should we be blamed for what our fathers and mothers done? We didn't do it. You're right. You didn't do any of that. But you maintained the systems that they built. You could have made it right. You could have said, you know what they done was evil. Let me fix this because I don't think it's right what my fathers and mothers did in the past. And that would have been the honorable thing to do. But you chose not to do that. You want your privilege. You want your so-called wealth. You want whatever else that you have at the expense of other people. And you have people like Tucker Carlson crying on Fox News every day saying that, how did he put it? When other groups get ahead, white men lose. That's what and that's their mindset. That we're living more in a society where you have to compete, where you have to hustle, and being white don't get it. Well, I saw out here in New York, everybody getting it. Ain't about no color. Everybody is getting it. Everybody is hustling. And you know the ones who I see hustling the most? Blacks, Latinos, Arabs, Indians. They hustle hard out here. Hard. They because you don't have that. But the economy here is right enough to hustle like that. And I wish everybody in our community all throughout the United States of America would hustle that hard. Like that's why I see why they say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere because it's high as hell. It is high. Like, I don't see how they live here. It is extremely high. But you got to hustle like that to make it. You have to. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's about competition, and when you have to compete, it's either you get it or you don't. And I think if some people, you say, hold on, what do you say about Trump? But I'm about to mention him, but Trump wants to get rid of us, right? Well, even if he wanted to, he can only be president for 8 years. It ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. But I want, and I've said this many times before, to help black people, Donald Trump would be the best president in the world to me if he just rip up all them safety nets. Well, I mean, like the welfare, the food stamps, take it all. Take it all. Now, he gonna hurt his people more than us, but take it all. Because when black folks didn't have any of that, we had 2-parent households. We had our own schools that we ran and educated our children. We didn't have gang banging problems. We didn't have drug problems. We didn't have no twerking and half naked women. We didn't have guys with their pants almost down to their knees showing they underwear. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have any of that. We had respect in our communities is because either you got it, how you lived, or you starved. We didn't have a bunch of children out of wedlock because there was no system to take care of those children. And the Democratic Party with Johnson, gave that mess and ruined our communities. So I want Trump to take it all, rip it up, and throw it away. Trust me, if Trump take it, you will see a celebration. Of course, some people will call me a coon. I don't care because I know when black people were great, and we are better when we have to do for ourselves. We are better, and we're so capable of that. We're so capable. And I'm telling you, with this woman, and even in this country, it's coming. They're going to have to take away the safety nets because this country is broke. It's broke. And even Trump knows that. That's why he's talking about pulling out of Syria. We can't keep spending money in wars or conflicts. I don't want to say war. Conflicts. It's draining the country. Eventually, they're going to look at those social programs and say, we can't keep doing that either. Trump already talked about giving you a food box. And if you're mad about Trump giving you a food box, well, you need to get out there and hustle. I see people out here, and I know some people going to say, oh, what about disabled? I seen people out here in New York walking on a cane. Barely can walk, but out here hustling. I'm looking at this. I'm like, and these are black people I'm looking at now hustling. It just put a different, it just had me, coming out here was good for me just to see that. Because I know if they can do that here, and this place is the heart of capitalism, it is. I ain't never seen capitalism like I see it here. Then we're capable of doing that everywhere. You know, because some of us, you know, oh, what we gonna do? Well, if they take it away, people gonna be starving. Well, start growing your own food then. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's coming to an end, Mr. Eskimo. It's definitely coming to an end. And like I said, Trump take that away. It's a Trump worried about people making money. I don't care what his motivation is. Let him take it. Let him take it. That would be the best thing for black people if Trump take that. Because we're moving, even Forbes magazine said this, they even admit to this, we're moving to an entrepreneur-based economy. You're going to have to create your own job. And if you don't create your own job, sorry, that's what it's going to be. Or you're going to have to get a very, very high education and highly skilled jobs, highly skilled trades. Now, there's many things you can do where you don't have to worry about a job. For instance, the medical profession. You'll never go without a job there. That I can tell you. Like, especially the way this country is, you're going to need nurses, doctors, nurse practitioners, specialists, that's physicians. I mean, we need more doctors in our community. We need nutritionists in our community. We've been taught to eat poison, literally. You say white man has the most nuclear weaponry. So, and what is that supposed to mean? Y'all need to stop being afraid. The thing is, like they said, a lot of black people believe in God, but you're more afraid of the white man than God. Then that's your problem. Just because you got it don't mean it's going to work. And it doesn't make sense for him to use it on himself, because what good is the land if you nuke it all? That's why they really don't want nuclear war, is because the land won't be no good no more. Hold on, let's see. Why is what? Well, unfortunately, Sunnyside 1984, some black people don't know this. I used to think like that, but I get some genuine black people that's never been exposed to that kind of information. So I have to tell them. And that's good. You should be. And a lot of black folks talk about they believe in the Bible, but the Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat. So it should be no so-called Christian person on welfare food stamps, because the Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat, right? That's exactly what we have to do. Do for yourself. Now, I heard about Koreatown. Okay, I'm gonna go to Koreatown, and I'm about to look at that. Okay, it's not too far from where I'm located. I heard where it's at. Now, we talk about what we can't do, but yet these others do it. So I'm gonna go check that out too. The real Aaron Collins, brother, yes. Donald Trump has been the blessing of black folk. Yes, he has. I don't care. These white folks, they can't stand Trump. And I'm like, go Trump. Because he waking us up. He's waking black folks up. He got the black folks that want to go along and get along, even say, man, I didn't realize racism was this bad. So yeah, if Hillary Clinton would have won, they'd have been, talking about a coma, they'd have been the death of black folks, because we would feel like we made it. And we had Barack Obama. Now we got Hillary, a white mama in there. Oh boy, we'd have been just horrible. No, black people needed Donald Trump. They needed Donald Trump. These other groups that try to say, oh, black people play the race card. You guys always talking about racism. Now, since Trump in there, oh, they pulling a lot of race cards, aren't they? Saying he racist and he just want to deport people. And we've been screaming forever about white supremacy. but you wanted to join with them and say we just being victims. Okay. So Donald Trump has been a blessing to black people. He has. And don't allow those Democratic Party to make you afraid to vote for them. Oh, black people, that politician's racist. So what? We live in racism every day. What that one politician's gonna do? What are you gonna do? Or what she's gonna do? Well, okay, if they're racist, and Lyndon Johnson was racist too, but you got a civil rights bill out of him. Donald Trump could be racist all he wants. Don't mean you can't get something good out of Donald Trump. It don't matter if he giving it to you because he want to be a narcissist and he want to say that I'm the one who helped those poor blacks. So I go down the history book, and trust me, Trump may be the guy to help black people because Trump want to have it and say, see, ain't nobody help blacks like I help blacks. I can see Trump doing something like that because he's a narcissist and he want to do it for himself. But let him do it for himself if he think he helping those poor black people. So, man, it's like, don't even listen to them people trying to make you feel afraid. Oh, Trump is this, man. Whatever. Let me tell you something about Trump. Under Barack Obama, we were getting slaughtered by them police every day, almost. When Trump got in there, that dipped. Yes, recently we seen Stephen Clark, but we were seeing the Stephen Clark every week. You remember that? For when 8 years of Obama, we saw Stephen Clark every week. Sometimes 2 in 1 week. I covered it, I know. Ever since Donald Trump been in, it's like they say, oh, we got a white man in office. We happy now, so we don't have to kill him as much as we used to. They hated Obama, so they wanted to retaliate on us. Well, I don't trust nobody. I mean, even those, like I say, even those so-called people who say they believe in the Bible, didn't it teach you to trust no man but God? That's what it says. And, now today, I was I met up with, like I said, Brother Sarnetta today, and we had that same conversation. I said, listen, you can't engage black people without engaging the Bible or so-called Christianity. I say because the majority of black people believe in Christianity or have something related to it, and even more blacks are Christian in Africa than in Islam. So, like I said, when I went to school, it taught us to meet people where they're at and then bring them eventually up to where you're at and your points, right? So black folks got to learn the Bible and enough to talk to people, because if you say, because some black folks, they get on this, I don't believe in the Bible, and then you're going to try to engage a person who believes in the Bible, they're going to cut you off. So you can't cut yourself off from the majority of black folks, especially in America. And the majority of black people live in the South. Let's make sure my clock is right. The majority of black folks live in the South, and the Bible Belt is very heavy. So if you think you're going to help black people as a whole and not mention anything out of the scriptures, then you wasting your time. And we can't attack black folks to make them believe what we believe. Just try to have a conversation with people. Put it like this. I got it. I got it. Trust me, I got you. I saw what y'all saying about Jamaica Avenue and Hall. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Household segregation in America. Yeah, they trying to do that again. What do you expect? I mean, like they said, anything like Fannie Lou Hamer said this. Great sister, Fannie Lou Hamer. She said that anything the white man give to you, he could take it right back. So never get comfortable when the white man give you anything. Just that simple. And if he want to segregate from you, okay, so what? Like, do you want to be next to him? My thing is this: Why do you want to be next to the white person that don't want you around them? I don't get that. That's stupid. You know, now if a white person want to be next to you and be your friend, like, and they serious about ending racism, white supremacy, okay, cool. You could be my neighbor. That's fine. You know, I hope everything go well for you. But why would you even get mad at some racist white folks that wants to be next to you? Like, good, segregate from me. I'm glad. I don't want you around me. I don't want you around my kids. Why does it hurt to see? That's your problem. You're too emotional. Black people are too emotional. Get your emotions out of it. Stop getting your feelings hurt. Stop getting your feelings hurt. Why do you care? That same love that you have, love for your people. Put all that energy into your people. And fix our community. I don't care if they cuss us out. I don't care if they want to segregate. Like, have you figured it out by now that white supremacy don't like you? Like, why do you want to be accepted by people who don't want you? Why? I don't get that. My grandfather raised me and said this: if they don't want you, you don't want them. Now, he said that about anybody, not just them. But think about that. If white supremacists don't want you, then you shouldn't want them. Why do you care if they don't want you around? So they're not taking oxygen away from you by separating from you. So I would be concerned if they had that ability. They don't have that ability. So who cares? Well, that's going to have it. Well, you know what? Out of respect to my ancestors, Camptown, Texas, I'm going to engage you just here for a second. Hold on. When I hear black people say voting, that's BS, that's fixed, and a waste of time. You disrespecting your ancestors by talking about that. You know, a lot of our people fought and died for that ability for you to vote. And the thing is, a lot of us vote for people that don't have our interest at heart. We don't. And the politics that matters the most is your local politics, your sheriff, your DA, your county commissioner, your mayor, your city council. All that matters, and that can be voted in based on let's say the popular vote. Now, the presidential election is electoral college or whatever. We know that. But your votes matter. And if you really know how to play the game politically, and this is what I would like black people to do, I personally would like black people to come back home to the South. Let us get back home to the South. Let us find some strategic places and cities and build up our numbers there, then take over politically. And that way we could run things and get things where we need it. We need the numbers. We're too spread out. That's why we're so thin. We got a few of us in California, St. Louis, Chicago, the East Coast, which, you know, New York is one of the places that the slaves, you know, came in at as well. You know, from New York all the way down, you know, the other states down to Texas. That's the majority of us where we're at. Basically, a lot of the slave states. We need to come back to that. California is done, black people. California is done. The Democratic Party don't want you. They don't want you. They have traded you in for illegal immigrants. They want them to become citizens because they feel they're going to vote for them. You're not even the priority anymore. The priority is illegal immigrants. This is what the Democrats are pushing. So what we need to do as black people is get out of sinking ships like California. It's a sinking ship. They are freaking talking about it's a sanctuary state. They have never created a sanctuary, anything for black folks. Hey, black people, come here if you don't want to get killed by the police. Black people, come here, you can get a good education. Black people come. They never protected black people from crap. But you protect illegal immigrants from getting deported by ICE. So the black people in California should have an issue with that because they're still not protected. It's not Sacramento, Stephen Clark. He wasn't protected. What was his sanctuary city, a sanctuary state, to protect him from police brutality and extrajudicial killings by police? Black folks don't have none of that. So, like, I don't know why black people still deal with that Democratic Party. But that's another sinking ship that we're going to have to get off of. The Democratic Party has shown you they don't care about you. The Republican Party already, you know where they stand. And I'm not telling you to join now one of them. You should never join a political party. You only join with people with your interests. You have no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interests. That's how you deal with politics. Black people, and Dr. Claude Anderson said this, are the most powerful group in America because they have a block vote, meaning black people for the most part vote one way. So if you get blacks, you'll get all the votes. More than 90% of the vote you're going to get one way if you get black people. Well, what if black people start forcing these people to do something? See, one thing about Donald Trump, and he actually set a precedent about something. Donald Trump has established you got to do what you say. Everything Donald Trump said he was going to do, he's done it or he's attempted to do it. And he's still fighting to do the things that he tried to do, like that wall. Then you hear recently Donald Trump say, well, you know what? They won't give me the money for the wall. Well, how about I just take some money from the military spending and I get the military to build a wall? If Donald Trump build that wall, then folks gonna run back and vote for him again, because why? Donald Trump did exactly what he said he was gonna do. So I think that's a good precedent in America that politicians can't lie to you no more. So when it's somebody run, black folks need to say, what are you gonna do for the black community? I don't want to hear that word minority. Man, forget a minority. What are you gonna do for the black community? This is our issues and problems: mass incarceration, jobs, health, our elderly, mental health, rogue police. I mean, just name. We need to create businesses. We need loans and grants for businesses. I mean, what are you going to do about all that? And then if they say, oh, we're going to do this for you, okay, put it on your website in writing. I want to see what you're going to do for the black communities. I don't want to hear the word inner city. I don't want to hear the word urban. No. What are you going to do for the black community? And if you can't tell me you're going to do anything for the black community and just minorities, no. I'm sick of that. Because when they talk about white people, what do they say? The angry white worker, the forgotten white worker. They made sure to let you know about white folks' problems. But when it comes to us, oh, well, we do things for minorities. Black folks need to get rid of that word minority out your lexicon, okay? Black folks, African American folks, whatever word you want to use, let me know what you're going to do. And if you're not going to do anything for me, then it goes back to that brother that said about voting, then I'm not voting for you. Every black person needs to have, and I stated this before, driver's license, ID, so you can move around. You know, you need that, whether you agree with ID or not, Moors. You need a voter registration card so you can participate politically. What good are you if you can't be participating politically? You need to have your passport, okay, so you can move around outside the country if you want. And you need to own a firearm to protect your household. Just that simple. All black people need that. All black people have fought for the rights of America, not just Caucasians. Black people is the one started the Revolutionary War. A black man with a native, he's black and native, but he's still saying he black. Crispus Attucks, he's the one that jumped off the Revolutionary War. Wasn't even Caucasians, to go against the British. We have fought in every war in this country. So every right in this country, we have a right to say, hey, we believe we get the same rights because our people fought in every single war that has been ever created. Every conflict, we have fought it. So out of respect of your ancestors, you need to fight for those rights. Well, if they're regulated in California, why don't you come to Texas? Texas, well, you can have your guns in Texas. Texans believe in guns, okay? And Texans are smart. And you know what? The people who don't have guns and arm themselves, at least in our communities, the only reason you have the thugs running around is because many of us, you know, of course, we got Christianity, so we don't believe in guns. Oh, no, the law is going to protect me. Man, look, the law is going to protect you, but also protect yourself. Look, if Pookie and Ray Ray knew everybody in the community was armed, he wouldn't be shooting out there like that. Think about it. If Pookie and Ray Ray out there shooting up the place, okay, and the kids are out there, and somebody else come out there and get at Pookie and Ray Ray for shooting, and then the word go out and say, hey, in this neighborhood, black people ain't playing that. They will get you up off them corners. You don't need to be in no Panther Party or the Huey P. Newton Gun Club to clean up your neighborhoods. Now, at the same time, when you want to clean up your neighborhoods, you got that corrupt entity of the police who'll say, well, you guys can't be doing that. Well, you know what? Either we do it or you do it. But technically, you're supposed to be doing it because we pay taxes. But Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't be here, and you all posted up in the black communities. Like, what are you doing? Just managing it so they don't get out of the black communities? Which that's really what they do, to be honest with you. As long as they can contain that crime to the black communities, they find. The moment it spill over to a white community, or I'm going to say an upper class white community, then all of a sudden the police have no problem getting rid of any criminal, no matter who they are. Look, black people need to get out of California. Seriously. Even white folks are leaving, especially San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? They're leaving San Francisco. It's too high. I'm just telling black people. And then here you go, radical home sisters here. She tell y'all all the time about that radiation that come from Japan over there. What's that, Fukushima place? That all that radiation in the water. Black people, get out of California. Like what you got to lose? Nothing. Come to where your brothers and sisters at. Research it. I tell black people to come to Houston because black people are making it very well in Houston. Or whatever major city you want to go to, get out of California. They don't want you there. Listen, it's too many illegal immigrants over there now. Places that used to be black, now the black communities have been decimated in California. Visit, enjoy it, and get out. It's too high over there too. That's another. They have so many taxes in California. Like, why would you live over there? I don't get it. Well, I don't want to be in Texas. I don't want to be in the South. What's wrong with being around your people? And how do you have it better over there? Like, if you have it better, then hey, like I say, California is beautiful. It's very beautiful. I will go visit, but I'm staying myself right where I'm at. New York, great, nice, love to visit. I'm going myself back where I'm from because I'm used to Houston being wide open. Property is not as expensive. I'm used to all that. I can't. I'm not about to sit up here and go get no 1-bedroom apartment and paying $2,700 for it. That's stupid. $2,700 in Texas is a minimum 3,000 square foot home, 4 to 5 bedroom. Paying that much money a month. Why would I stay there in a place I'm in a shack and I'm paying all this money? No, that's not wise. When that governor said that state, California, is a sanctuary state, I don't know why black leaders didn't come out and say, man, what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you say you came back from California to the East Coast? Okay. Yeah, but black people in the North are outnumbered, though. You have no numbers. You have no numbers. Well, if you always ask me, well, listen, I tell people this about Houston, and it just being be honest. When I say Houston, I mean the Houston Metroplex area, which it comprised of a lot of cities. Okay, me personally, I wouldn't stay in the city of Houston due to the school district, unless you in one of them real good areas. And now we do have 2 black schools that I know of that's close. If you live in Houston, you can send your kids to. Okay, but there are many cities outside of Houston where literally you're 2 minutes away from the Houston city line. You're still literally Houston. Okay, and you're close to your people. They got some regular communities, but it's still nice. Okay, outside of Houston, so you don't actually have to stay in Houston. I know some people talked about Cypress, the Woodlands. Some people talk about that. But there's so many places you can stay. That's why I tell people, if you ever decide to move down to even to Houston, you want to stay in Houston, there's some great places to stay in Houston. But my issue with Houston is certain areas of Houston when a Harvey comes, I'm not about to be underneath the water. That's just not about to happen. Because where I lived, the way it's built is built like this. So the water was inside of, the street, but it didn't come in my crib, thank God. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting a new subdivision out there. All the new subdivisions, the houses are going to be built up, so you don't have to have that issue and problem. Yes, in the South, you may have to deal with some hurricanes, but you don't have to worry about being froze out. Hurricanes, you can see them coming. You can. It's not like a tornado. So everywhere you live, you can have an issue with the weather. But just for me, I think the South, I think we all need to return back to the South. I think we need to build ourselves up in our communities in the South. There's so much land in the South. Like Texas alone got so much uninhabited land that we could do so much with as a people. So I just really feel that's what we should do. Let them have it, in certain areas, because we just too outnumbered anyway. You can go to Atlanta if you want. That's fine. That's still the South. But we need to have our family so heavy in the South that anytime these white supremacists won't try nothing. Because the fact is, they like to try something when you don't have the numbers and doing this sneaky stuff. Black folks is heavy in Mississippi, heavy in Alabama, Georgia, all those places. And really they have a very, very low cost of living. So some of you in California, if you sold your home, and some of y'all guys' homes is like $1 million. If you sold your home in California and came to Texas, you come up. You can get a home that's at least, I'm talking about nice home, good area, $200,000 to $300,000 house. Okay, now you look all the money you got left right then and there, and you could buy that house cash if you want to, cash. Since you got, let's say, like $1 million for your house sale, like why not? The cost of living is not expensive. Some people like Dallas. I'm not. I'm not. I've been up there, but I'm not about Dallas like that. I think, Houston. Some people like San Antonio. There's a lot going on out there. There's more Hispanics in San Antonio than black folks. There's more black folks in Houston. But man, like I said, we everywhere. Just come on back home to the South. That's where your ancestors started. That's how your ancestors built this country, was the South. So I'm definitely gonna be pushing. Come on back home. 600,000 up in California. Okay, all right. So one day maybe I go up there. The two partners of mine just come from Chicago. Actually, I know the history of Chicago. I know black people built Chicago. I know the city was black folks. Gave the name. The name of Chicago. I know that. But it is. Like I said, I think black people just need to come back home. That's all. Just come on home. But anyway, guys, with churches to pool money to create, I do agree with that, and churches need to join with other groups too. But first in the churches, we need to get out the pimping and hoeing out the church first, so we can do any work. And see, the church in the past was the place where they mobilized to get the work done, and today you just seeing too much prosperity, jackleg preaching that. Making people feel they cursed of God if they don't tithe. And if you ever see my tithing video, please watch it. I took 43 minutes of my time to try to educate you about tithing and why these preachers are just spiritually jacking you. Okay? Because if they have all this tithe money, why they not coming out to these, think about it. All these people pay tithes to these mega preachers. Where's the mega preachers there with Stephen Clark right now? All these black folks that went to the March for Our Lives. Notice they didn't mention anything. Even the preachers not showing up to the March of Our Lives either. The preachers don't show up nowhere. But back in the day, when the black church was the meeting ground and the hub of the black struggle and fight, that's why the Klan was bombing churches, because they knew that's what black folks met at. Not just to worship, but also to strategize. Hey, how are we going to get this white supremacist terrorist devil off our backs? What are we going to do? A lot of your preachers, like we mentioned King, but, people like Medgar Evers and many others come out the church. Just like people came out of Islam too. You know, some sort of religious base we have people that came out of. So whether it's Christianity, you know, or Islam, and one thing, now, people can't knock Mr. Farrakhan for this. Mr. Farrakhan, he's cool with Christians. He quotes the Bible a lot. Why? Because Mr. Farrakhan is smart enough to know if I want to touch the majority of black folks, I need to meet them where they're at. And I'm not going to attack them for believing in Christianity. And then also, this is what Mr. Farrakhan said as well. I thought it was real cool. He said, it don't matter if somebody believes they're a Christian. If they believe that their life needs to be in service to God, they're a Muslim anyway. And so it's that's one way of joining the two together to reach your people. And that's what we have to do. We got to be on some unification. And when people start bringing up all these different religious denominations and all this, that's just division. That's division. I'm not for that division. We don't have time to divide, because when them police shot up Stephen Clark, did they ask him, hey, are you a Christian? Are you Islam? Are you Hebrew Israelite? Are you a Moor? Are you a 5%er? Or you believe in no God at all? Did they ask him that? No. What did they do? Gun, and shot him 20 times. So since the police not going to care what religion you are when they shoot you 20 times, why are we worried about that? I told y'all that. Stop being tribalistic. We can go in different tribes after we free. Then we can do that. Until then, we are all black people. Let's just unify and fix our problems. It's just that simple. But we're going to be extinct if we don't. But anyway, guys, I'm checking my time here. I'm going to get up off of here. And but you guys stay blessed, you know, much as possible. Join us on Patreon. Like I say, it's definitely appreciative that you guys do that. I thank you guys for supporting us. You know, like I said, it means the world, because like I said, our Patreon is a symbol of unification. Okay. That unification of that page of people coming together and say, we're going to donate once a month just to keep what you got going on. That means a lot, because we need to keep the information going. Propaganda is something we have to fight daily. And, you know, when I talked to Brother Sinetta today, and he was talking about the term black power, I said, there's no such thing as black power if you're not in control and domination of different things related to black people, which means media. We have to own our own. And you guys know the story. I turned down white man money before, because you ain't coming in here and controlling us. It ain't happening. So we got to be in control. That's definitely for sure. But anyway, guys, let me go ahead and go get myself together, and I will see you guys on the next upload.